here for another episode of From the Soul. We're here with Kanisha, aka, or better known as Chef Thug Life. So you say, how you feeling?
I'm feeling unbelievable, man.
Feeling unbelievable. What's unbelievable feel like?
Unbelievable feels like almost like freedom. That's what I would describe that feeling as.
I dig that. So I mean, who are you?
Who am I?
Who am I?
I guess I'm just one of these people that's out here to save the world.
Okay.
I'm a superhero. That's who I am. I'm a superhero.
What's your superpower?
My superpowers? Well, in my head, I like to call myself the vegetable whisperer.
Tell me about this vegetable. Tell me about this vegetable whisperer name. I need to know about
the vegetable whisperer is just this vigilante that is out here to prove to people that vegetables are not disgusting, and if you cook them the right way and with love, they can be flavorful, and you just appreciate them. And they'll appreciate you back. They'll give you what you need as long as you treat them right. That's the vegetable whisperer.
What inspired this journey? Like, what in your personal life pushed you towards being this vegetable vigilante?
I guess I could say it's like one of those things that you don't realize when you're growing up, what your parents are trying to do for you is the right thing. And then as you get older, you just start to revert back to what your parents taught you in the first place. So like, I grew up a vegetarian. And in my head, it was a punishment that I wasn't allowed to eat meat because everybody else in my house was allowed to eat meat. Like, it's a running joke that people would find like half-eaten hot dogs in the fridge. Because I was just like, this is not fair. What in the world does meat taste like?
Eating hot dogs and putting them back.
Like, I don't know why I thought that was the right idea. Like, they gonna know somebody ate half the hot dog.
It wasn't me.
They not gonna think it's me because I'm a vegetarian.
So, I mean, did you dabble into, did you eventually start eating other meats? Or
I did start eating meat. I don't even know, honestly, at what age it started, but I think it was after my mom really stopped packing lunch for me, and I started eating school lunches. And the PB&Js around here are terrible because they put way too much peanut butter. But, like, along with that type of stuff, and like, everybody in my family cooks, but I was the only person to pursue it as like a career, and I didn't realize that this was like basically ingrained in me until now, until I was able to go back to my mother. Like, she's from Trinidad, my dad is from St. Vincent. Once I went back there and I see like, and I really started to understand, like they go to the market and they get food and they come back and they cook it. That's exactly what we did over here. Like, we would go to the Newcastle Farmers Market on the weekend. I used to fish with my dad, all that type of stuff. And that's the same stuff that they did back home. And people on the outside looking in think, like, you do so much work when it comes to cooking. And I'm just like, no, like, this is simple. Right. Like, try making an Indian meal, that's hard work. That's a lot of flavors, and it's, trying to think what I want to say. It's just a lot of things as a child that I didn't realize that ingrained me, that kind of shaped me and made me into how I am now, into the chef that I am now, into the person that I am now, the way that I think, the way that I move. I didn't realize that I drew upon so many things from like my uncles or my aunts, stuff like that, from my mom, from my dad, from being able to go back to Trinidad or go to London and all that type of stuff. And then with school, I got the chance to go to France, so like, I didn't realize how much of a blessing that was until you start to hear about other people's stories. And there's people that haven't even left Delaware, and I'm just like, okay, I don't know what we have to talk about.
How often do you go back to Trinidad?
Not often, but often enough. I do intend on going back there at the end of the year this year. Spend some time with my grandmother, spend some time with my family. Just one of those things as an entrepreneur, it's kind of cool. You get to decide when you can leave and get off of work. That's the pretty cool part.
How important, you know what I'm saying, was this entrepreneurial journey for you specifically?
I guess, I don't know, I'm that person who, like, on the outside, I'm not going to tell somebody, like, yo, I'm better than you. Mm-hmm. But there's just something in, like, the back of my head that just, like, you gotta do something. You gotta do something. You gotta do something. And my last job I got fired from, I was a head chef, and it's just like, for some people in this industry that I'm in, once you hit that mark of an executive chef, a head chef at a restaurant, like that's just supposed to be like your golden apple. Mm-hmm. But once I started to realize like how an owner treats people, and this particular owner just was a money hungry type person, and that's not me. Like, I don't cook for money. Like, if a person does not have a smile on their face, I didn't do my job. Mm-hmm. So I could care less about money. So when you start talking about money to me, it's just like you're losing me. Once you start talking about food, I can talk all day. Like, so for me, it was just like, why would I go into another kitchen if this is supposedly the high mark? Like, what else is there for me to do in another person's kitchen? Like, the next kitchen that I do something in, it has to be for me. It has to be about me. I don't know if that's an egotistical thing, but I know that I'm doing the right thing with food. Mm-hmm. So if I keep doing what I believe in, I can't go wrong.
I dig that. That's some gems there, you know, for some of the folks that's going to be watching. So you spoke on putting smiles on other people's faces. So yeah. How could you utilize your craft, your skill to impact your community?
I am actually working on a project to go to a foster home in Wilmington and start making dinners for them.
Word.
So, impact the community. But
right.
Besides doing something specifically like that, I honestly just want people to start cooking again, to be comfortable with food, to know what food is, where it comes from, how it's made. Like, America as a whole has just made everything so quick, and we can make a chicken in 2 weeks. That's not how a chicken is supposed to grow up. Like, everything, they just want to do everything so fast to prove like, yeah, we're the biggest, we're the baddest. Look how quickly we can make corn grow. Like, relax.
You're doing the most.
And it's just like you're doing the most with like the wrong thing. Like all this energy that y'all are putting into trying to make the best type of tomato in the winter, we could have did something else. Like, I get it, but at the same time, there's a reason why we ate with the seasons and all that kind of stuff. And it's just really interesting how food has changed. And because of that, I think our culture of what we do has changed. And in the Black community specifically, there has been this, to me, an agenda to separate, to break down the household. And with that, you know, in the perfect family, where it's, you know, a mom and a dad and 2.5 kids and a dog with the white picket fence, the American dream and all that. The American dream and all of that, but it's supposed to be the mom stays home, she cooks, tends to the children, father goes out, he's working, he brings home the bacon, type of thing. Well, there's no father in the picture no more, but there's still that 2.5 kids and the mom. So now she's stretching herself out to be able to bring home the bacon and cook it.
Right.
And eventually one of those things gets tossed to the wayside. And since they're making food so available so quickly, all right, all I gotta do is just keep working, because I just gotta put food on the table. Food on the table, doesn't matter if it's nutritious anymore, it's just food on the table. There is a plate in front of you. I did good.
Or a burger from McDonald's or something.
Just whatever. Just, there is something that you are about to consume in front of you. I did my job as a parent. No. That's not right.
Right.
It's not right. And it's unfair that this is how generations are starting to learn about food. And that's not fair. Like, even with the media, with Food Network, the way that I grew up on Food Network, like, I was watching Iron Chefs, but, like, everything was in Japanese or Chinese. So I'm, like, having to read words on the screen. Like, even something like that I'm learning something because I'm starting to put together different ingredients just by how they look. Like, I got to figure this out. Like, all right, what did he say? This is what that looks like. Okay, that says foie gras on the screen. What the hell is foie gras? All right. We're going to figure that out one day. Like, you start to pick something up. The show Good Eats, that's another one that I used to like live by. And he would literally go to a store and talk to a butcher, like, hey man, I'm about to make some burgers. What kind of beef or what cut of beef do I need? So now you're learning about cuts of beef. You don't even get that anymore when it comes to these cooking shows. Everything's a competition. People are much more comfortable sitting down, watching somebody else prepare a meal than preparing a meal for themselves.
Right.
And it's just, they're just stuck on TV. They're just stuck on TV. They're just stuck on TV. And so you have a TV dinner, and now you're watching somebody else prepare a meal instead of you actually doing, like, you watch all of Martha Stewart your whole life, and you do not know how to make a roasted chicken.
Right.
I don't understand. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Certain things just baffle me. Like, to me, females not knowing how to make a meal, that's just like,
lost art.
It is, and it's because, like I'm saying, it's just that breaking down of the family structure. So now the mom wasn't in the house to show her daughter, hey, this is how you make a meal. And now the daughter's out there in the world and she's lost because she can't make a meal. How are you? And then you just become another fast food person. And then this is what leads to obesity, high blood pressure, and all these other things that they say plagues the black community, but I don't know if it really plagues us or you just don't put fresh produce in our communities.
True. All right, so speaking of fresh produce, so back in Carolina, you know, with a couple different folks, we are in the process or have already started some community gardens. Could you see that being something that, you know what I'm saying, you could get started here, and that way, speaking of the fresh produce, you got the produce to already go to. And then in my mind, I see you as an educator, you know, because of everything that you're speaking on. Like, I feel very comfortable and confident in saying you're an educator, you know what I mean, at the same time. So, like, that's another way to even teach people about food, you know, with everything you're speaking on of knowing the cuts of beef and knowing what it is that you're eating and how you learned it by deciphering through things on TV. I think, do you see that as something that could get started here, or is it something that's already in?
I believe there is something already started as a community garden, but I feel like people are trying to speed things up too quickly also.
Right.
And I think it's beautiful that you are doing this community garden, but at the same time, do people even know what to do with these vegetables?
Right.
So it's difficult trying to figure out where exactly is the starting point to start changing all of this, and everybody has their positions and what they're doing. So if somebody's already out there growing produce, that's great. Me, I'm a chef, I'm not a farmer. Like, I respect that, but I'm going to just show people what to do with the food.
Yeah, well, I think they all coincide a little bit, because some people know what they're doing already. Some people going to be learning it from the people. And then some gonna take it to the chef that know what they doing with it. That's like, I don't give a damn about being in the garden, but I cook it and then show y'all how to prepare it.
Yeah.
You know, I think they all work together.
There has to start to be a relationship between the chef and the farmer, though. That is definitely something that needs to start going on. Farming in America is not what it was before, and this is the reason why we are growing copious amounts of food, but they are degrading in nutritional value. So you could be eating all these lovely fruits and vegetables, but what soil is this grown in? What's in that soil? This is what we really have to get to, the root of the problem. Like, we have to start from the ground up, literally. Like, all these words that, you know, you always hear, get to the root of the problem, start from the ground. Like, it's true. It's completely true. And so there has to be chefs that are demanding better quality food in order to push the farmer to make better quality food.
Right.
So I'm the person that's pushing for the better ingredient. I don't want to waste my time preparing a meal and I'm not getting the full potential out of it. That's a waste of my time. that's a waste of your time. Right. All that time that you put into growing this, you should have just did it the right way from the beginning. But there's just bigger powers that are out there that are working against the organic or the local. Like, even that, to me, those are just words at this point.
Yeah.
It's
you
consider
yourself a nutritionalist?
I think that's something I definitely want to pursue, to be a nutritionist, just so that I can better educate people on the vegetable whisperer. Look at that. It all works out.
Yeah, I can see that being a hashtag on some shirts or something. So, tell me about your name, Chef Thug Life.
Oh, man. Chef Thug Life. Mm-hmm. As always, my disclaimer is, if you come up with your own nickname, you're lame. So I did not come up with this name. Okay. I got this name, it was anointed to me by one Joseph Senderoff. That's that real last name. When I was in college, and somehow we were talking about something about, he just didn't know that I was from Delaware. He just assumed that I was from Philly because I went to school in Philadelphia. He just assumed that that's where I was from, and I was just like, no, I'm from Delaware. And then he was saying, something, there's no thugs in Delaware, and I'm just like, have you ever been to Wilmington? And he was just like, yeah, there's no thugs there. And I'm just like, what part? And he was like, yeah, I went to Joe's Crab Shack. And I'm just like, listen, I'm cool at Camden's Riverfront, but I'm not leaving Camden's Riverfront. So if you was to just walk a little bit out of Wilmington Riverfront, you would have possibly ran into some thugs.
Right.
And then somehow it was just like, all right, whatever, Chef Thug Life, and it was just like a thing from there. And then like a little bit later, I ended up like making that like my Twitter name, and then I made it into like the Instagram name, and it just always has been that. But a lot of people didn't know that I was an actual chef. They just thought it was just like, oh, that's a cool Instagram name.
Right.
Like, no. It's deeper than that. It's like if I was like Dr. Thug Life, like you have to respect it.
You're like, oh, she's you might be thinking you the hood chef.
Yeah,
the
like,
hood doctor. You know, like I do everything for the hood. I'm not sure. Word.
Young Jeezy, My Hood is like the theme song I keep in my head.
So what's next for Chef Thug Life?
I am happy to say that Chef Thug Life is like superly official, a company. Like nobody else can be Chef Thug Life. If I see it out there, I'm sending out cease and desist letters.
Right. Gotta make it happen.
Like this is not a game. This is not a game. Everything is just coming to fruition as I wanted to, and it's honestly just an unbelievable journey that I'm so grateful for, because like I had this moment the other day talking to Brandon, and I'm just like, I think I'm crazy. And he's like, what are you talking about? Like, who honestly keeps themselves like in debt when they could just get a job at any point? I'm just like, yeah, something's not right with me. That's not what a normal person would do. They would just be like, all right, this was cool for like a month. Yeah. But it's just like at this point, it's no sink or swim. It's just like, I gotta get to that island.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's no sink or swim at this point. I gotta get to that island. So there's definitely some things coming up in the future for Chef Thug Life, and I'm just excited about all of it.
So where can the folks find you? I know you already said it. I mean, can you repeat it for the folks that might need to hear it again?
Well, definitely like us on Facebook, Cooking with Chef Thug Life on Facebook. Or on Instagram, it's Chef Thug Life. I try to keep everything pretty simple and thuggery at all times. You could book us for catering events. You could book us for just about anything, man. Like, we're willing to travel. We actually have a punch and brunch that I'm about to do in DC.
Word.
Like, I'm ready to be mobile. I'm ready to get my name out here and just show everybody what I can do and bring more smiles to people. Like, people need to smile more, and if I can achieve that through cooking, then that's what I'm gonna keep doing.
When's your Punch and Brunch in DC?
That's gonna be July 1st. That one's gonna be a private event.
Okay.
But we're gonna look to do another one in DC soon. It's gonna be a public event.
Bet.
Yeah.
No doubt. Well, I appreciate you for sitting down, you know, with the Soul Society for one of our From the Soul. So is there anything else, you know, you want to make sure the viewers or listeners, you know about Chef Thug Life, or something that, you know, we might not have touched on that you want to speak on?
I don't know. I think we covered a lot today, but I would just say Chef Thug Life is for the kids. Lieutenant.
Word, no doubt. Well, I appreciate you. Chef Thug Life for the kids. Wu-Tang. Forever. Peace. Check. What that's up, right? That's up, right? That's up, right? Hey, that's up. Hey. If I